And while India struggles to shake off the virus, the developed world is taking off the masks. The countries who've been able to vaccinate a sizable number of people. Those living in the United States, for instance, they can ditch the mask at most public places now, if they have taken both the shots of a vaccine, that is. The United Kingdom, on the other hand, has new rules for hugging. Our next report tells you how life is turning back to normal in at least some parts of the world.
Americans can take off their mask while walking on the streets, inside restaurants, offices, and most public places. They don't need a mask if they are fully vaccinated. Joe Biden was quick to follow the new advice from experts. Soon after they made the announcement, the U.S. president appeared for a press conference at the White House with Vice President Kamala Harris. Both leaders without a mask.
If you're fully vaccinated and can take your mask off, you've earned the right to do something that Americans are known for all around the world. Greeting others with a smile. With a smile.
Some reporters were spotted without a mask too. But the rest of America is still cautious. Not everyone is taking off the mask yet. America's Center for Disease Control says people can stop wearing a mask in most public places, but they still need to have one on if they are on a plane. In airports, trains, transit hubs, and places like hospitals and doctors' offices, America is not the only country that's ditching the mask. Several countries in the developed world are easing their rules. In Australia, citizens can leave the mask behind for most public places where physical distancing is possible. In neighboring New Zealand, people need to wear the mask at just 2 locations: public transport and flights. In Israel, you can step outside minus a mask. The United Kingdom has asked its citizens to keep the mask on at crowded locations. But human contact is allowed. In fact, Britain has new hugging rules. You can hug a loved one, but conditions apply. The government calls it a cautious hug. It must be done outdoors without face-to-face contact, and the hug shouldn't last very long. If you are hugging someone who is not vaccinated, then you need to keep your mask on while doing it. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who famously shook hands at the beginning of the pandemic, got infected and landed in an ICU, now has the advice on hugging.
This doesn't mean we can suddenly throw caution to the winds. In fact, more than a year into this pandemic, we all know that close contact, such as hugging, is a direct way of transmitting this disease. So I urge you to think about the vulnerability of your loved ones, whether they've had a vaccine, 1 or 2 doses, and whether there has been time for that vaccine to take effect.
Whether it is the US or the UK, rules to ditch the mask remain the same. Virus containment and vaccination, with their massive vaccine stockpiles and aggressive inoculation efforts, countries in the West have found the exit from this pandemic. Bureau Report, WION. World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.